Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today's video is our weekly astrology report. We cover from Monday through Sunday. So today we're covering January 26th through February 1st. I show you the charts on the screen. I talk about the significance of the astrology of the week, and then I also do a Akashic intuitive reading with the tarot and the oracle cards for the week. So here we go. Let's dive in. Welcome again. Thank you guys. If you're watching here live or if you're watching the replay, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Just let me know what's one thing you're excited about after hearing the astrology. What's one thing that you're excited about for this week ahead? And I also would like to share with you just a couple of things, part of the channel that I think are ways to just get more involved in the community. And so we have a global community, which is a free space that you can join on Mighty Networks. That's the app that hosts our community called Channel for Grace. And within the network Channel for Grace, the global community is the free space where I host events. I do like sometimes classes, workshops, and you get to, just be in that sacred space with other people that also like this content and want to get to know more people in the space. Also, I do have I send out a weekly moon magic report. So make sure that you sign up for the newsletter, and you can do it by downloading my free moon astrology guide, which there's a link below in the description. It's going to enter you into my newsletter, and you'll get the moon magic report every week, which goes out on Wednesdays. So it covers Wednesday through Tuesday, and the astrology is written out. I also tell you if there's any courses or things coming up on that newsletter, and any videos of the week. So I'm going live a lot this week. Today we're doing I keep wanting to say the moon magic report, but it's not, but maybe it is the moon magic report. The astrology, the weekly astrology. Tomorrow I'm actually doing mini readings. So you can get on the list. I already have one person on the list. It was so fun last week. People loved it. So I'm just going to do it again. $25 per reading, and you get on the list. I put your name, you pay the $25. I put your name on the list, and then you get your name called during the live broadcast, and I do the reading live on YouTube. And that's going to be tomorrow, I believe, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss out. And on Wednesday, I'm actually going to be going live with Ashley, and we're going to be talking about the moon goddess training. So I want to share with you a little bit of what it is all about. I just have to make sure that the screen is shared, because for some reason, let's try this and then this. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do tomorrow is not tomorrow, on Wednesday with Ashley, is talk about the moon goddess training. And that is the one thing that I do want to share, that I'm so proud of this program. It has been going for since 2022. Every year it has been getting better and better. It's been evolving. There's so much content in this class. This is basically like the all comprehensive program that I offer. And the reason for that is because you actually learn astrology, you learn your gene keys, you learn your human design. There's many other things that we learn. I actually want to go through the list a little bit, but essentially it's 3 levels. And the end goal is you become certified as an Akashic record reader. But the way that I do this is very unique. And it is through learning things like sacred geometry, hermetic alchemy, the process of like healing yourself, learning about yourself and your strongest intuitive gifts, and how the Akashic records work, and what they actually are, and how you're like tuning into the Akashic records all the time. It's just getting clear about how the messages are coming through for you is the work that we learn to do by deciphering and stepping into alignment. deciphering who we are and stepping fully into alignment in who we are. And you can't do that unless you know your astrology, your gene keys, and your human design. And you learned it in a way that you can actually help, you can look at your friends' charts, your partner's charts, and like kind of include them in the process as you're going through it. So level 1, you learn the fundamentals of how the Akashic records work and what they are. And we do this as we journey through the mystery schools of ancient Atlantis. In level 2, we learn to apply the teachings deeply in our personal life, inviting us to heal from trauma, past life trauma, early childhood trauma, and awaken our intuitive abilities that are just going to help us tap into the Akashic records. And level 3 is the official certification. And the program there is like, we literally do practice readings on each other. We learn the different topics that you can read for. It's really nicely organized too. The best part is definitely the community. But since this week we're going to be talking about level 1, let me read to you a little bit about what makes this year level 1 really awesome. So we're going to be starting on February 17th, which is the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which itself is a time of powerful change and regeneration. We're going to be in eclipse season starting on Sunday with the full moon in Leo that is coming. But this eclipse is an eclipse that's going to cleanse us and purify us so that we can organically flow through life's true desires into lightness and ultimately rapture. So like fully, like if I was going to say this is the perfect energy to like usher us into what does it mean to live aligned by design, this is it. It's also the beginning of the lunar year of the fire horse, and the horse represents freedom, power, dynamism, passion, strength, and invites us to align our values with what we truly desire. So it's going to be a powerful activation to begin the moon goddess training path. And level 1 goes through the ancient Atlantean initiatic path, meaning we go through the different temples. So you see here, you've got, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. So here you've got the temple of Abu Simbel, the temple of Isis, the temple of Kom-Ombo, the temple of Horus, the temple of Karnak, the temple of Dendera, the Osirian temple, the temple of Dashur and Saqqara, and then the Giza pyramid. And the reason why, this is, here we go. The reason why it's so important to mention that is it's how it's organized. It's how the class is organized. So within those are like the weeks, right? 1 week for each temple, but each temple represents a chakra. And within that chakra, there's other lessons that are incorporated into that week. And so what we're doing is we're essentially doing 40-day meditation Kundalini yoga together. You're being initiated into the ancient mystery schools of Hathor, ancient Atlantis, learning how to activate your sacred space. You're learning how intuition works, how to access it. You're essentially learning what it means to become fully empowered. You're learning astrology, gene keys. You're learning all about the moon. The moon phases, basically the moon goddess, the moon centers, which are 13 centers that live within the body of the woman. What they do, they're connected to our emotions. So we're learning about emotional intelligence and how we flow as women naturally through life, and understanding these cycles is so important to understanding and improving our relationship to ourselves, which then improves our relationship to everybody else. You're going to learn how to create your own moon goddess altar, honoring everything that we learn in the class. We take Akashic journeys every week into the temple. So you go, like, it's almost like we're traveling back in time to each of these temples and having experiences within them, within the Akashic records. And then the Hermetic alchemy aspect of the class, you're learning about the 7 laws of the universe. You're learning about sacred geometry, the connection between the two, 9 dimensions, the chakras, our physical body. Everything that we learned as initiates in the ancient schools is like, this is all the stuff that you need to know. The basic stuff we learned in level 1. And it's amazing because it really sets a powerful foundation for the rest of the training. So level 1 is like jam-packed with information. Level 2 starts to integrate it more into our personal lives. And we start to look at a little more of like the trauma and the childhood, trauma that we had, healing the inner child. And then level 3, we're like, okay, now that we've done the heavy work, we can just, tune in and practice getting better at kind of being ourselves, like truly being ourselves. There is, in the Mighty Network, in our community space, there is a free Akashic Healing Retreat that you can sign up for and do on your own if you want to get like a little taste of what it's like. And this page that is linked below is going to give you all of the information. Make sure you scroll through all of it. Even all the tentative dates are there, and what goddesses have said about the journey so far. For example, the esoteric knowledge is just absolutely fascinating. It's just a joy and wonder to dive in, do the Kundalini Yoga experience with my body, mind, heart, and soul, along with others. I love learning the knowledge and the experience of putting things together. And there's many more references here, but overall, like this is amazing. There's also a super deal. I should mention this because this is really important. You can buy all 3 levels for just the price of 2 of them. So either you buy them separately, which they're 1444, or you buy all 3 of them and you get one completely free. Okay. And that is because I want people to commit to all 3 levels, because you really get the most out of it when you go through the entire experience. But I have also had students that have done like first year they did level 1, then the next year they did level 2, and then the next year they did level 3, even though you can complete all 3 levels in 1 year, which is my recommendation. So check that out, you guys. This is an amazing, like full program. And I can't wait for us to begin. Moon Goddess training. All right. So let's dive into the astrology now. Let's just take a look at the astrology of the week. So you should be able to see the chart on the screen. And what we're going to be covering is from Monday, January 26th through Sunday, February 1st. And the most powerful thing about this entire week is what happened today. So earlier today, Neptune officially moved into the sign of Aries. Let me just check the chat real quick because I realized I didn't even say hi to you guys. Hello, welcome in. Kate is here. Thanks for being here. And if you are here, say hi in the chat. Hello, Spider. Welcome in. Okay. So this is really, really important. Neptune has now officially entered Aries. This means that this is a new era. When the outer planets change signs, what happens is you are like literally in another world. These are the planets that change the generational energy. So like, how they say like, oh, if you were in, if you're like the generation of like Neptune and Capricorn, blah, 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 blah. This is what they're talking about. So like all the babies that are going to be born with Neptune and Aries they'll be like the new generation, So Neptune is the planet of spirituality. Hello, welcome, welcome. It is the planet of intuition. It is how we connect to the divine, to source energy. It represents the ocean. It represents the Akashic records. It is very, very, very expansive. It's a dreamy place. It's dreams, but also nightmares, because everything in astrology has a duality. So you have like the beautiful things about Pisces and then the scary things about Pisces, which is like the sirens that like drown you and kill you, and like deceive you and like then, murder you. You also have the ocean that is like, if you're all by yourself in the middle of the ocean, that would be scary AF, right? The storms, like the hurricanes, all of that is also part of this energy of Pisces. And then it also rules like psychosis. So the cool thing is that we have completed the journey of Neptune and Pisces, and it has been heavy. And I don't know if you guys have felt the energy of the last week was so, it felt like we were like dragging our feet. Like we were just like barely making it. And so I am really grateful that now we're done. and now Neptune and Aries is going to guide us into what I call the hero's journey. I'm actually going to be hosting a workshop for Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, and the Great Conjunction. I'm going to call the workshop Your Hero's Journey. I'll have a link soon ready. You can see it in all my socials. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Channel for Grace, and also get on my email list so you get, the information to you. But the workshop is going to cover basically like what it means, what we can expect. With Neptune, it's going to be the next 14 years. With Saturn, it's about 2.5 years of this Saturn, Neptune, Aries. The conjunction, what does that mean? What is that activating? I'm going to teach you where to find it in your chart and what that means, depending on where it is located in your own personal natal chart. And it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to couple that with talking about the year of the fire horse that is coming up soon. And I can't wait. So hopefully you'll join me for that workshop. And that's where I'll really dive into this meaning. But Aries is all about action. It's ruled by Mars. It's about the embodiment. It's like our physical body. And so spirituality gets now anchored into your journey. And it's like what you do now matters way more than what you believe, right? So like now, like actions really, truly do speak louder than words. People are going to be, very like active too. And it can be, there can be aggression. So again, everything has a duality, but it is a hero's journey. I think humanity is collectively moving into a hero's journey. We're also going to talk about in the workshop what gene key this is on, and what that means and how we can kind of harness the energy of that. And we'll see, like, do you have anything right there where the conjunction is going to be happening in your chart? Ooh, Aries rising, fun. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I decided to do that like a couple days ago. I just got inspired to do that, and I'm glad because I think this is a very, very important energy to tune into, to understand, and to know how to navigate. So we'll do that. We'll learn how to navigate it. So that is the most important thing of the entire week. But if we continue on to tomorrow, we're going to see the official conjunction of Mars and Pluto. And that can definitely be intense. I think it can be intense because Pluto represents power. Mars represents like our drive and our motivation and our ability to like harness the energy to like get things going. And then Pluto just adds power to it. So it's like relentless drive and power. Of course, if that's being used in a positive way, great. But if it's not, it can be not good, So we do have to just be a little wary of that. Mars and Pluto can also bring in like, scary things. A lot that have to do with like, Pluto is destruction, Mars is strength. Like strength and power can be used for good and bad. And that is what's going to be important about this conjunction. It is happening in Aquarius though, which is really cool. And then this is a theme that's continuing from last week, is all the planets in Aquarius, the personal planets. We've got Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mars, and now Pluto. Pluto's not a personal planet, but hello, Christina. But it is important that he's in Aquarius because he's one of the big transitions that we're going through collectively. So Pluto in Aquarius is powerfully ushering in the Aquarian age. Neptune in Aries is taking us into a whole new expression of our spirituality. Saturn in Aries is not that, that 2.5 years it changes, but it is important that they're going to be conjuncting collectively. That's huge. Another huge activation. And then we're going to see this. The third one this year is going to be Uranus officially entering into Gemini. So the 3 outer planets switch signs within like a short period of time, few years difference. That is huge. And that's why you're seeing so many things changing so quickly in the world in general. But the Aquarian vibe is, it's the new world. It's community. It's sharing your gifts with the world. It's like finding your tribe. It's going to happen. This conjunction is going to happen at 3 degrees. 3 degrees, if you think about, the step astrology, you've got 0 is the womb. 0 is like the sacred container. And 3 is the belief. So there's an aspect of like protecting our beliefs, protecting like what we know, for ourselves. And I know there's just something interesting about that. It's Jupiterian. It's expansive. So that also fits into this energy. I think it's like protecting our power, protecting our ability to harness our power, and also using our power, like getting clear about like, okay, if you really believe this, like, here we go. This is the time to like put, your bootstraps on or whatever, and like get on with it. It's a lot of power that comes from this to take us into the future. So this is really, it's a lot. It's a powerful week. The next big aspect that happens is on the 29th, and that this is a conjunction between Venus and Mercury, which can make things feel, it can soften things a little bit. It can make it more fun. It's almost like, ooh, yay, let's get together, let's have fun, let's talk, let's party. It can be more social. It can be more like inviting of like friendliness and socialness coming together, and talking and sharing about our values and what we truly desire. And it's community. Again, a lot of community-based energy is being activated right now with all of these planets in Aquarius. Then the last big thing is on the 1st, which is the actual full moon in Leo. And this full moon is happening at 13 degrees, which is really powerful because it adds up to a 4, which is Uranus. And Uranus is like revolution, change. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun. So there is an aspect of this moon that always calls us to like know ourselves, to trust our heart. This is a moon that's happening on the 33rd gene key, which goes from forgetting, shadow of forgetting, to gift of mindfulness, to city of revelation. It's literally called the final revelation. So like, what is about to be revealed to us as a humanity, because this full moon is what's ushering us into eclipse season. Like after this full moon, we are officially in eclipse season. And then 2 weeks later, we have the new moon, annular solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. So it's like there's activation after activation after activation. It can feel, I feel it, this feels positive to me. This moon, I love Leo energy. I have a Leo moon myself. So I think it's about, trusting our heart and letting our heart like lead the way forward. Being clear about truly what you believe in, and then letting that be an initiation into innovation, doing new things, stepping into more clarity. It's going to be hopefully a good feeling energy for the week. So if we backtrack a little bit, just to watch. Sorry, I've had a lot of allergies today, and so I'm sneezing, runny nose. It's really annoying, but I just keep going. The moon is going to move through Taurus, and then it's going to go through Gemini, and then it's going to go into Cancer, and then eventually, obviously, Leo towards the end of the week. So Taurus moon, which is right now, it's a positive energy. It's stabilizing. The moon in Taurus is exalted. Gemini can activate our mind and invite us to like, get curious about things and share what we know and communicate from that place of curiosity, and just really think a lot. Then the moon in Cancer brings up more of an emotional frequency. Maybe you feel more emotional towards the end of the week as we excuse me, approach the full moon in Leo, which activates the heart and our sense of like self-worth too, and fun and play and creativity. The moon calls us to be in our passion, reminds us to remember our passion. Like, what do we truly love? Like, what does our heart truly want? And through the lens of the gene keys, and I talked about this last week, but we're basically going to be in the 41st gene key, which is the origin. This is also like the new year of the human design chart. And for most of the week, and then towards the end of the week, when the full moon comes, the moon's going to be on the 33rd, but the sun's going to be on the 19th, which goes from the shadow of codependence to the gift of sensitivity, to the city of sacrifice, and it's literally described as the future human being. So the two shadows that we're working on this week are it's the shadow of, hang on, the 41st. I can't remember the shadow for some reason. Fantasy. This is so true. We're definitely moving away from fantasy into anticipation, into emanation. But the shadows that we're dealing with is fantasy, and then towards the end of the week, codependence and forgetting. We're trying to become more mindful and sensitive in general. And that's the frequency that the sun and the moon invite us into this week in terms of the lens of the gene keys. So that's a lot. Like, we literally have a full moon. We had a planet changing signs. We have a conjunction between, Mars and Pluto. That's very, very important. I think it's more positive than not, that conjunction with Mars and Pluto. But at the same time, it's all really, really, really powerful transits that are happening, that are beginning to take shape, and they're ushering us into the new world. Like, we're more and more like being pushed, launched forward. So it's exciting times. It's fun to be here right now. Is it? I'm just kidding. But anyways, so that is what is exciting about this week. And so now, let's pull some cards and let's see what our spirit guides, angels, and teachers want to tell us about the energy of the week. So what I'm going to do is open up the Akashic Records with a prayer. And while I do this, I invite you to ground yourself, and to also have cards that you can pull for yourself. So I use tarot and then animal cards, but you can use whatever you want. I'll tell you what each card means. I'm pulling for all of us. You're pulling for yourself personally. So here we go. We'll take a moment to just ground ourselves. You can close your eyes. You can settle into your space. You can take a few deep breaths and let go of anything that doesn't serve you in this moment, so that you can be a clear and open channel to receive the messages that want to come through you today. From the deep depths of the cosmic mind, I hear a whisper. This whisper calls us inward towards our essence. A light begins to glimmer at the center of our heart. This is the light of unity, the all-knowing wisdom of the One. Through this door, we open the gates of the Akashic, the magical flower of life. We see our duality. We recognize our sacred trinity. We begin to witness infinite possibilities as we become the observer and the observed. A powerful and luminescent light engulfs our being, and we feel many dimensions all at once. We enter the Akashic records, protected and loved by all star beings that have accessed these portals before. The records are now open. May wisdom flow, may understanding descend, and may we be blessed with the light of love. Dang, I wish I didn't have the stuffy nose. It's kind of annoying. Makes me feel like heavy. But I had an amazing morning. This started happening like in the afternoon. But I had an amazing morning, an amazing day. I was very, very happy about Neptune going into Aries. All right. So our first card is so the first card is like, where are we at right now? It's like our jumping off point. So this represents us now. Let's see what we get. Oh, I can feel it. That's the one. Oh, wow. This is very interesting. So we get the Lovers card, which it is about like relationship. But because it's about relationship, it really truly is about discernment. So I think that we are in a place where like, it's interesting. You can definitely look at this card and be like, oh, we're naked, we're being stripped naked is one message I'm getting. At the top, it looks like Archangel Raphael, maybe, or maybe it's Archangel Michael. That's like watching over us. But I think we're being stripped naked. I think duality is another important theme or archetype of this card. We're learning about opposites. It's like here or there, black and white, yin and yang. It's the polarity. We're being reminded, there's a lot of polarity. We're being reminded of polarity, but we're being stripped naked. It's like we're being really shown like what is happening with humanity, like things are getting really clear, and it's a vulnerable place to be. Like it's a vulnerable place to see what's happening collectively. Okay, the second card is the challenge of the week. What is the challenge of the week? Okay, we're getting another major arcana. This makes sense. So the Moon card is about emotions, but it's also, the Moon card is also about facing our fears. Ooh, interesting. So we're being asked to face our fears this week. That's the challenge. It's also, the challenge is to be in your emotional intelligence, which means awareness. Emotional intelligence is literally awareness. Like if you're aware of your emotions, they're not going to run over the top of you. They're not going to like take over. You're not going to be able to not have control over your emotions. You're going to let yourself feel things, but you're going to let yourself, like you're going to remind yourself, and you're going to know that this too shall pass, and you never get stuck in them. Emotions are always changing and always shifting. It's like the river. And you can't step in the same river twice. So this too shall pass. is emotional intelligence. When you are from that place of like, this too shall pass, but it's important for me to feel it right now, so I'm going to let myself fully feel it. That is our challenge this week. Can you be in your emotional intelligence as the duality is being revealed, as we're being stripped naked and entering into a very vulnerable place? Wow. Okay. Overall theme, Page of Swords. You know, this is interesting. So the page always represents like the adolescent energy. We're like, you're quick to draw your sword, you know, you're quick. The swords represent words and thoughts and communication. So you're on the defensive. So it's like, to me, it's almost like, be careful. Because a lot of people are kind of like really quick to draw their sword. And it's like, is that really what you want? You know, is that the energy that you really want? This is also about being clear about what you think, what you believe, your thoughts, but being smart about wielding your sword, you know, wielding your word, using your words and wielding your truth is wielding your sword. You need to be careful about making sure that you're not like jumping to conclusions, and getting on the defensive like right away. That energy is never good, but it is the overall theme of this week. So it's tension, it's tense. That's what I'm getting. Message from our spirit guides, angels and teachers. So we got 2 cards here. Another major arcana, the Strength card, next to the 5 of Cups, which is the card of grief. So the Strength card is grace under pressure. Can you be graceful under the pressure? And the 5 of Cups is, there's a lot of grief. There, like, you have to grieve. You have to recognize the things that need to go. Like, at some point, grieving is good. So if you need to grieve, you need to grieve. You need to, like, that's part of emotional intelligence. You let yourself feel the pain, but you remember to act gracefully under pressure. And with the 5 of Cups, at some point, you learn, like, you feel safe enough to start walking a little, you know, away from what's grief, you know, grief, that you start healing the grief. Like, walking away little by little is not like rejecting, or like pushing something away. It's actually you healing. So at some point you go, okay, I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And you start to enjoy life again after the grief. But grace under pressure is what our spirit guides, angels, and teachers want us to know this week. Okay, what is our spirit animal for the week? Which animal is going to guide us this week through this journey? Let's see. What animal spirit? I saw a huge fat red-tailed hawk today. I was like, yeah, the fatter the better. It was awesome. It was very Jupiterian, a very Jupiterian sight. A very fat red-tailed hog. That's abundance right there. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got the dragon. No way. The dragon was coming up a lot this weekend. Okay, so the dragon is all about seeing one's most true self and balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we're traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us, excuse me, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if... Hang on a second. I need my tissue. Oh God, I hate this, but I'm fucking used to it now. When it happens, it happens. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni, described as inner fire or sacred intelligence, may even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems. Ooh. And behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to see clearly both the inner and the outer dimensions. Wow. That is huge. Dragons are like mystical guides. So this is like our guide for the week. Like, whoa, that is really, really beautiful. Let's pull some cards from the Celestial Kin Oracle. I've been doing this and I've been enjoying it. So we're going to pull three messages from our star families. What do they want us to know this week? I literally went live on Instagram and sang, feeling like this is I'm nuts. Oh, wow. What is this? I think they just fell out. Wow, the 3 cards just fell out. Okay, here we go. Zeta Reticulans. Your mind is a gateway to infinite potential. Very interesting. From the Arcturians, remember the divine unity of all beings. Oh, wow. And the third one is the Venusians. Lead with love in all things. I love that. Okay, so let's see what the message is. All right, here we go. From the Zeta Reticulans, your mind. Oh, hang on. Here it is. These are hard to find. Your mind is a gateway to infinite potential. Your neural pathways are a conduit for both earthly and cosmic knowledge. Train your mind, expand your awareness, and you will unlock solutions to challenges that one felt insurmountable. The future begins in your thoughts. Engage in mental exercises, learn new skills, and remain open to unconventional ideas. Meditation and mindfulness can sharpen your cognitive abilities. And I'm looking for the Arcturians. This one was remember. Okay, remember the divine unity of all beings. Separation is an illusion. At the core of all existence is oneness, a vast field of love and light. Deepen your connection to others, to nature, and to the cosmos. Recognize yourself in every being and every star. Practice compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love. See beyond differences and recognize the shared essence in all forms of life. These are beautiful messages this week. And last but not least, lead with love in all things. Love is not just an emotion, it is the most powerful frequency in the universe. Let love guide your thoughts, words, and actions. It will soften challenges, heal wounds, and create miracles. Choose love over fear, even when it feels difficult. Let kindness and compassion be your default response to life's obstacles. I know. And that's that's one of the most powerful messages I think right now for humanity is you have a choice. We're being, brought into a choice right now. And the choice is either love or fear. You can only choose one. Very, very, very powerful messages. All right, let me close the records. From the deepest depths of our soul, we give gratitude and love, for we understand we are a fractal of that cosmic whole. As we give, so we get, open to all possibilities through all time and space. We walk through the Akashic portal back to our inner space, remembering that this wisdom lives within every cell of our being. Thank you, star beings, for holding this sacred space and for protecting us during this journey through time and space. The records are now closed. All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing mini readings. So come check it out. Come get a little mini reading done. They're going to be $25 and you can get on the list already now. The link is below in the description. And to pay the $25, and it's just first come, first serve. But the readings happen live on the channel. So I will see you guys tomorrow at, I think, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I can't wait. I think it's going to be great fun. All right, Satnam, and see you guys next time.